Hi, my name is Erin MacIntosh,
And I'm Liz Sweeney.
and we are students from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, studying abroad at Gusto Lab International Food Systems and Sustainability in Rome, Italy.
This video was created for our food and media course. The main purpose of this video is to emphasize the importance of creating sustainable cities and communities in order for humanity to flourish.
Cities act as a centralized metropolitan space for human development, where the general public is encouraged to advance both socially and economically. This sustainable development goal recognizes the potential held within our cities and communities and asks society as a whole to take advantage of the opportunities for universal growth that lie within our urban environments.
Though it may sound simple, the factors that attribute to building sustainable communities in our modern age create some significant roadblocks. Challenges including congestion, shortage of housing and accessible resources, and unstable infrastructure continue to make progression difficult.
With one half of humanity occupying our cities today, our urban environments are supporting just over 3.5 billion people. If this number sounds surprising to you, you may be shocked to hear that by year 2030, an anticipated 5 billion people will reside in cities around the world. This drastic increase in population density draws public attention to the impending problem of creating strong foundations for prosperous cities.
To put this growth into perspective, one should note that cities and urban space occupy 3% of the Earth's land. Though this number is just a small fraction of humanity, individuals in this demographic account for a substantial portion of the world's energy consumption. Just how much you think this might be? If you guessed about 50%, you're almost there. Our cities account for about 80% of the world's energy consumption and 75% of our emissions.
With that being said, there's a quite powerful correlation between urbanization and economic growth. Around the world, towns and cities are responsible for over 80% of gross national product. While urban poverty is growing around the world, this is largely because many people, including the poor, are moving to urban areas. The opportunities extend beyond just jobs, and cities also offer great opportunities for social mobilization as women's empowerment. Many young people, especially women, move to cities as an opportunity to escape traditional patriarchy traditions and experience a new form of freedom.
Not only are people flocking towards cities to experience freedom and justice, but also because urban areas offer greater access to education and health services. This includes sexual and reproductive health, which further promotes women's empowerment and the realization of their reproductive rights. This contributes significantly to reduced fertility in urban areas, which changes the trajectory of overall population growth as well. Much of the world's population growth is taking place in Africa and Asia, which creates an enormous opportunity for sustainability, but only if the right policies are put into place. Urban living has the potential to use resources more efficiently, create more sustainable land use, and protect the biodiversity of natural ecosystems.
If these numbers put you at unrest, you are not alone. This is why it is so essential for society today to acknowledge these disparities and work to diminish them for the betterment of our future. A variety of goals must be accomplished in order to further the development of achieving this SDG. We will break down a few of these targets in order to thoroughly communicate what must be achieved before our efforts make a significant impact.
One target of creating sustainable cities and communities lies in establishing accessible public transit for all walks of life. This requires a focus on building inclusivity, especially regarding women, children, the elderly, and people with disabilities. In providing affordable and safe transport, we're essentially rebuilding an infrastructure that was originally designed to accommodate a population much smaller than that of reality. In providing affordable and safe transport, we're essentially rebuilding an infrastructure that was originally instituted to accommodate a population much smaller than that of reality. Through accomplishing this target, we are essentially allowing those in more vulnerable positions to feel safe and at ease in day-to-day life.
Another target lies in creating public green spaces that are universally accessible regardless of demographic status. As the eternal city, Rome prides itself on the successful preservation techniques used for hundreds of years that have allowed the city to develop into the free walking museum that it is today. In fact, the ancient Romans were able to develop an irrigation system that is still intact today. Using examples of proficient civilizations like that of ancient Rome may be used as inspiration in the modern world for what a sustainable foundation may look like. Moving forward, the use of present raw materials and recycled materials would be essentially killing two birds with one stone. The removal of debris and waste from urban environments and the repurposing of these materials in efforts of innovation. The creation of inclusive public places will offer new environments for communities to come together, fortifying a strong foundation of community.
One of the most crucial targets for creating sustainable cities is to support positive economic, social, and environmental links between urban, peri-urban, and rural areas by strengthening national and regional development planning. This target may be the most applicable to our studies in Rome due to the strong connection that holds between the city and the countryside. The main aim of this target lies in linking the various demographics of society so that a unified perspective on communal development is achieved. This may involve building more intimate relationships between the populations occupying both rural and urban spaces. Little to our surprise, Rome is again ahead of the game in doing so. As individuals studying food and culture in Rome, we have grown quite familiar with the slow food movement. This movement and the energy behind it have grown to fuel a passion for interconnectedness within Italian culture. Though this movement and its attention to farm-to-table food production is a minor piece of a larger puzzle, it serves as an illustration of positive active change in a community.
Ultimately, much of the change that this sustainable development goal calls for must first be addressed through transforming the collective misconception of change coming from those with power. Consider yourself as a student. Would you say that you possess a certain degree of power from this status? What about another identifying status? The truth is, change derives from the individual. When one person decides to get actively involved, a ripple effect is created so that influence is spread far and wide. Once individuals start to consider the impact of one's community on personal development, it encourages conversations surrounding the role of community, not only in the individual, but in societal development.
There are several things a student studying abroad can contribute to achieving these goals in regards to city sustainability before, during, and after their experience of study abroad. First and foremost, before departation of your study abroad experience, the most important thing one can do as a student is to get educated and informed on the matter. Reading and learning about city sustainability in your respective study abroad city and country can help you become a more educated and involved citizen while you're there. Being able to understand the challenges and issues in regards to city sustainability can also help you to have intellectual conversations with locals about the topic as well. This can give you new perspective on the issue that you may have not been aware of before when learning about the topic.
As a student studying abroad, one may also contribute to achieve the goal of sustainability within your city while you are studying there. This may be achieved by practicing and supporting the goal to make cities inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Contributions may be as minor as opting for public transit or walking to reduce emissions and congestion that stem from driving. Other possible contributions may involve voting to pass legislation that supports eco-friendly policies, calling on the diversification of agricultural systems, and attending local rallies to supporting biodiversity and its preservation. As a millennial, it is easy to appreciate the technological advances we as a society have come to achieve. For our generation, the greater difficulty lies in understanding a need for urbanization in its most efficient sense, or in a manner that respects the integrity and structure of our communities.
Following one's study abroad experience, the work does not end on your contribution to achieve the SDG goals in obtaining inclusive, resilient, and sustainable cities. In fact, the work has just begun. One may utilize his or her freshly gained knowledge and experience from living in a foreign country to educate your peers at home. The valuable experiences you endured can help to educate your community at home and to help them become familiar with similarities and differences between the cities. This can create a positive impact on the community you reside at home because they may also feel inspired by the goals and efforts other cities are glorifying to create inclusive, resilient, and sustainable cities.
Now that we outlined the premise of our sustainability goal and how students may get engaged in the matter before, during, and after their study abroad students, we are reaching out to you all as students and members of society to get involved with important goals for the betterment of our society as a whole. We ask that you carry the confidence to take charge and promote change in both your individual communities and our world. Use your voice as a young, passionate individual to provoke conversations surrounding the importance of sustainable communities and to inspire change amongst the individuals within them. For after all, this is our future and we are responsible for painting its picture. Thank you.
Ciao.